So, this all started a couple of weeks ago. I was riding the late night bus home after a long shift. I was the only passenger sitting there in the flickering fluorescent lights, half asleep. You know that heavy silence when everything feels off? Yeah, that kind. As we pulled up to my stop, I noticed something sitting on the seat across from me. A phone. Just an old, beat-up phone. No case, cracked screen. But the battery was on, and it was blinking. I don't know what possessed me to grab it. Maybe I was tired, maybe I was just curious. I slipped it into my bag and got off the bus. Figured I'd turn it in somewhere the next day. When I got home, I pulled it out. There was one notification on the lock screen. It was a message. "Hello, are you alone?" My heart skipped. I swear it was like a punch to the gut. I didn't even know if I should reply. But for some reason, I tapped on it. The message opened. No contacts saved, no previous conversations. Just that one message. And now a little text box, waiting for me to respond. "Who is this?" I typed. My fingers were shaking. Immediately, a response came back. "I see you took my phone." I froze. I was in my room, alone, doors locked. But I had the weirdest feeling someone was standing right behind me, watching me. I told myself it was nothing, just some automated spam, right? But then another message came. "Don't ignore me. Look out your window." My room was on the second floor, so there was no way anyone would be outside my window. But I couldn't help it. I peeked through the blinds. And I swear to you, someone was standing on the sidewalk, staring, not moving, just staring up at my window. I dropped the blinds. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it might explode. I went to turn off the phone, but it wouldn't let me. Just a new message that said, "Don't hang up on me." I didn't reply. Instead, I shoved the phone in a drawer, buried it under a pile of clothes, and tried to forget about it. But every few minutes, I heard it buzz. I forced myself to ignore it, until I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed the phone, and the latest message read, "Let me in." And then, my doorbell rang. I stopped breathing. Just froze. It was past midnight. No one else in the building was awake. But the bell kept ringing, and then pounding. My front door started shaking. Finally, I grabbed my own phone, dialed 911, and whispered to the operator what was happening. I was shaking so bad I could barely hold the phone, but as soon as I mentioned the old cell phone, the pounding stopped. The line went dead, and the room fell silent. I slowly walked to my door and checked through the peephole. Nothing. The hallway was empty. But just as I turned back around, I heard a faint buzzing from that drawer. "Look outside again," the message read. I couldn't help it. I don't know what possessed me. I went to the window and peered out. The street was empty, but my car had its headlights on, even though I hadn't touched my keys. The car door was open, and in the driver's seat was a single red rose. I don't know how I slept that night. But by morning, I decided I'd throw the phone away. Just ditch it somewhere far from my house. When I opened the drawer, though, the phone was gone. Just gone. And in its place was that same red rose, still fresh, like it had just been picked. I moved out the next day, blocked my number, changed my locks, got a new phone, knew everything. But every so often, when I'm alone, especially at night, I'll hear a faint buzzing, just a little ding. And I'll look around, check every corner, every drawer, but there's nothing there. Just that cold feeling of being watched.